Hello, this video is to show some audio workflow tools I made in Unreal using a Blueprint utility widget and some Python scripts. So this is my utility widget and I've got a bunch of different options here. First off, in the middle we have create hierarchies from CSVs. So in my project content folder, I've got some CSVs, and here is a folder structure one. So these are the parent folders and the next set of children following one. So we'll have one path that's SFX, player, locomotion, footsteps, one that's SFX, enemy, combat, attack, and prepare. And if I click this, it's going to create the structure in my audio assets folder. So if we look, there's nothing in there. But if I click that, now we have everything. So enemy, combat, attack, prepare. Look at the left, we have locomotion, footsteps. I can do the same thing with submix and sound class. So the submix structure is the same thing. The parent here, the next child, and all the following children. So if I click that, this is going to create my submix structure in my submix folder. And if I click master submix, I see that I have everything already connected. And the path for that folder is a variable in the widget graph. So you can change that if you want to pretty easily. Same thing for sound class. So when I do that, I've got my sound classes here. Next, if I go to meta sounds, here I have a preset. It's forest preset. So I've got 3 different input arrays here. I've got loop 1. They're actually called AR point random 1, AR point loop 1, and AR point random 2. So if I select it and I go back to my widget and I click import files here and I click assign selected, see that I have all these files here that I can pick. So I've got cricket loop, bird day, and bird night. Select all those. And now if I open up my preset again, in my loop 1, I've got my cricket loop. In my random 1, I've got my bird's day. Random 2, bird's night. And it knew to put those files there because, once again, I have a CSV. In here, I've got column metasound name. And since we were using the selected metasound, I put nothing there. Then I have wave input name. So random 1, the wave match name is day. So all the files with day in their name will go into this random 1 array. For random 2, it was night, and for loop 1, it was crickets. Next is my option to duplicate selected. So here I've got a preset for footsteps, and in this one I've got a wave asset array called AR point base sounds. If I look at my CSV, I have 5 meta sounds here. And the idea is that once I click duplicate, it's going to duplicate this preset and make 5 duplicates with these names. And in grass, it will put all of the wave files with grass in the name into the input called base sounds. Same for metal and concrete. So now if I go here and I make sure that I have my preset clicked and I go to duplicate selected, I've got add audio to duplicates checked here. And now I go to all my footstep sounds. And here I open up concrete. I got all my concrete sounds there. If I open up grass, I've got all my grass sounds there. I don't have a sound class. I don't have a concurrency set. I don't have a submix. And while I know we can go to the property editor matrix and assign them there, I find that a bit clunky. And so I created this system here. I select everything I want. I can find my submix. So my sound class can be player, attenuation will be player locomotion, concurrency will be these two, and I can put let's say I put my virtualization mode to, let's see what they are here. They're at restart, so I'll set it to disabled. I can press apply all changes there. And if I go back, I've got disable, I've got everything applied there. I can also do one at a time. So if I go to my sound class, instead of local player, let's put it to SFX. I apply it, and now it's changed. Lastly, we can undo things as well. That undid rather all my duplicates. I kept my wave files, and had I clicked undo removes imported waves, it would have also removed the waves. So as you can see, we've got a bunch of waves now in our audio assets folder. And to help with that, I have this sort audio assets. So I click that, and now I don't have them there anymore. I've got, if I go to SFX, I have my birds there. If I go to player, I have my footsteps. And so what happened here is that my script will look at the naming convention, and it will move the file as far into the folder hierarchy as it can. So SFX birds, well, there's SFX, but there's no birds. For player, we have player and then FS, but here we have locomotion and footsteps. So that kind of sucks, but to fix that, I've got another CSV called the audio sorter CSV. And here, if I write equivalent underscore footsteps and locomotion, I can say that it should consider FS like an equivalent of locomotion and footsteps. So now, if I sort my audio, in that folder, it sends all of my SFX player FS to the locomotion and footsteps folder, because it sees that it has this FS tag, and it says, okay, that's equivalent to footsteps and that's equivalent to locomotion. And lastly, for everything that didn't have criteria that corresponds to the folder structure, it puts it into a folder unsorted. So that way you can import a ton of audio files at once, assign them to duplicates or the selected meta sounds, whatever, and then you just click a button and it should at least clear up this space.